Hello everyone, it's Charlton. Eagles, Bears. Eagles are driving. It's 3-6. Eagles are down by 3. All right, so Doug Poppa is going to be on a radio podcast tonight at 9 o'clock. I saw that earlier today. That's what kind of got me excited. Actually, I went to his Twitter feed and it says, that he has another exclusive that he's working on, which I'm very interested in. And he says, stay tuned to Baltimore Post-Examiner. The moments after I saw that tweet, I saw that he tweeted he was going to be appearing on this podcast tonight at 9 o'clock. I'm going to show you. I'll link all the stuff down in the description. I forget the guy's name. He says it right here. Jim Paris Live. He has a radio show that I think is a fairly big show. But in addition to that, he's also being asked to hold over for a second hour, or for additional hour, in which I believe he's going to, Catherine Lombardo is going to be on there as well. One of the attorneys for the victims, one of the attorneys from Southern California, representing a big batch of the victims, who's been on television many times, on Tucker and other places. And I think they've appeared together before on Tucker in any event, so he's going to be doing that. I'm going to be tuning in myself for sure to check that out. Like I said, I'll link that down below. Jim Paris Live. This is one of the, come on, dude. There's various places. This is the guy's, I'm sorry, no, that's not it. I mean, there's a number of places that listen to it. I think this was the Blog Talk Radio link is where the first one that showed up in the search engine when I searched for Jim Paris Live. But I think there's a number of different places that get you to the live podcast. I'll link them all down in the description below. So that starts at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. The Eagles just scored, so now they're up. It'll be 10-6. In Chicago, man. The Eagles have got a lot of heart, man. This team, you never know, dude. They may win this. All right, so that's just a little public service announcement. I'll be curious to hear what they have to say. And I really do, especially these days. I really wonder. If this dude ever watches my videos, or has any watched some of my recent videos. Same thing with Catherine Lombardo, for real. And I've gone back and forth. It's just me, okay? And I'm just some dude who, when something, I just can't let things go. Certain things that I think are wrong. And I'm not getting anything out of this, really. I want my channel to grow and all that. I do want that, but I'm not being paid or nothing, And I don't begrudge other people for wanting their channels to grow too. And I don't even really get, when I see their channels doing really well because they're telling outrageous things, that are just kind of just telling people what on it want to hear and telling them fantastical, crazy, things just because that's what people like to hear to make their channel grow. That's not what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm talking about a huge corporation using very unorthodox means, on media to manipulate people, a particular group of people, the victims and their families, people being represented, on the other end of this lawsuit, who just don't have the resources, may not necessarily have. And I don't mean this in any way disrespectful. May not have the education, and they just have to. They only go to their phones or to the internet to try to look for additional information when there is none out there. And when the only information they find tells them all these different things that basically says it's terrorism, this and that. I don't know. I worry that they're being manipulated into accepting some fantasy that is 100% not in their best interest, and they're being fooled into believing that that's more important than the financial settlement that's owed to them, that they deserve. Okay, and that's how our system works, you know. And everyone can cry all they want about money, and that that's all I care about is the money. I'm not getting a penny, nothing from this. But that's how the civil justice system works. I've spoken to conservative attorneys about this, you know, who are friends of mine, you know, and they've explained to me why it has to be that way in order to affect change. But that's how it is, and that's just how the justice system in the civil litigation works. Is that, you know, the larger the settlement is to exact that amount of justice, because that's how much wrong was done to those people and to those victims, man. It's just so. But I've gone back and forth in terms of like, wow, am I just being so paranoid, or I'm just reading into this, or I'm just seeing all these coincidences that are just coincidences and they're nothing else. And I've gone back and forth. There's times I'm like, no, it's just me. I'm just reading into it, and that I just want to be right and all this other stuff, or I want to find something that nobody else finds, and that it's just my egotistical things going on. But so I go back and forth, and I'm still not 1,000% positive. I'm not. But I'm also I'm back in the court where I think I have stumbled onto something, to connections between families, you know, some in the creator world and those and a family member, you know, who I've already discussed. I don't need to get into it here, you know, who has associates that are helping. I do think there's a group of creators that are financially motivated, and I don't know how they're being compensated. I explained how, you know, maybe this attorney in Vegas he's getting tons of business referred to him, probably from the corporation, you know, involved here, you know, and will forever into the future in Las Vegas. And his practice is probably thriving, and there's indications of that right now. Okay, he's already hired a second full-time seasoned attorney in just the last few weeks, when it was basically just himself and some junior associate for the first two or so years of his practice in Las Vegas. But I don't know how these other people might be being compensated. And this is just this is theoretical, I agree. I don't know these things for a fact. That's why I'm not mentioning any names or anything like that. But I think, like I said, I'm back in the camp, even though just in the last 24 hours, I was thinking, no, I'm wrong. And that it was just a big coincidence. No, I don't think it is a big coincidence. I think I'm back in the camp where I think I'm right. And I don't know how these other, who knows? These creators, cryptocurrency, they're being paid that way maybe, that you can't trace somehow. They're not doing it for kicks. And if they are doing it for kicks, it's even more sick. Twisting and toying with people who lost their loved ones, who are entitled to whatever they're entitled to through the legal system. Whatever the legal system will justify. They're entitled to that. To trick them into thinking that, that's not real important, and that this fantasy about all these other various versions of terrorism and multiple gunmen is more important than the finance is sick. But like I said, I don't know exactly how they're being comped. But cryptocurrency, that would be one way. That would be one way. That would be one way to do it. And by the way, just one other note before I forget, before I tell you the reason why I'm back in that camp again. People that are like kind of run scams and cons on people, there's 1,000 different ways to manipulate people and toy with people. But one of which is they basically agree with you. Okay? And they say we're the same by doing things like saying, we believe in the same things. Like we believe in Trump. And they pretend to be Trump supporters, even though they're actually screwing over Trump supporters. All those people that were killed at Route 91, they're all Trump supporters. And I'm pretty sure that some of the people that I've been speaking about in this video are not Trump supporters. And I don't really care who's a Trump supporter or not. I'm just saying that's how twisted some people are, that they would pretend to be a Trump supporter to like befriend people. And it's not one person. This is a group of people manipulating the most vulnerable, the victims' families, the survivors, because they just don't know, and they're desperate for answers. And they're just giving them fake answers that are basically in place of, and telling them that, the financial settlement. Essentially, they're not saying that in those terms, of course not. is not really that important. The financial settlement's not real important. The truth is, the fake truth that they're being given by people who claim to be Trump supporters, who aren't Trump supporters, and who are hurting people who lost their loved ones, and so forth. All right. But and I'm going to wrap this up in a second. I don't care if this is perfect or not. I don't care. I don't care. I'm all by myself. I talk to some people, but for the most part, I'm all on my own. This gets a little freaky. It does. It really does. As I look around at these things, and I'm just some dude who's sitting at home. I got a job. I do my own job too. I do that. And but I'm all, I'm not saying feel sorry for me, but I'm all alone, And I just got to figure these things out myself. You don't know who to trust, and you just have to navigate that. But going in these directions, there's some pretty big money interests here. A corporation that's pretty powerful, and people, if they got things to stand to lose something, they're not going to be happy about that. So, but one of the things, it's crazy because one of the dudes, in my connections, I don't have all the family connections worked out. I don't. But I don't care because the coincidences are just too big. They're too large. The names of this attorney, the names of this creator, and you go back in time and it turns out they meet up. And I don't know how they all meet up. And I don't know how they're connected. I don't know if it's distantly related or what. But there's just no way that it's not. It's just a random coincidence. And so, but this one person that I found, who I thought was the creator, who was the dad of this, dad of this attorney. And I don't think that's the case, based on where he lives, where the creator lives, where I found it. I'm not going to say him, but I thought he was the attorney's dad, but I don't think he is the attorney's dad. But again, I can't work out all the family connections. But before, and his friends, he didn't, the attorney didn't show up, even though they both have the same last name, didn't show up in his friends, and I just assumed that they were related, even though they didn't show up in the friends, because people just mark them private because they don't want that to be known, But now, all of a sudden, it's showing up, okay? Because obviously, I don't know. I don't know why exactly. My guess would be that, we better just, put it all out there open and pretend like, oh, no, we weren't trying to hide anything. And now they're all there, And it's not in my imagination. I didn't take screenshots or nothing because I'm not going to take screenshots of all of his friends. But I just noticed them. I'm like, whoa, that wasn't there before. And so, I know I searched the dude on Facebook, the attorney, and he wasn't there, and now he is when you search him. And even throughout the day, when I searched him, he wasn't there, and he kept moving up because, he just took it off private, and now it's becoming part of the normal search like everybody else. There's just no way these things are a coincidence, And I don't know if Doug Poppa and Catherine Lombardo listens to my videos or what, but like I said, I'm all alone here, and it gets a little freaky. And that's the story there, man. That is the story there. But, yeah, I'm not telling anybody to do what. For the people that are maybe actually part of this online, on YouTube, making videos, doing this on purpose, believe me, you and me, we're not done, okay? But, like, people who have no clue, I don't know. You can say what you want, but, just be careful what you say because you could be siding up to people who are royally screwing people over. And you're making yourself look like a huge fool. And you're being made a fool of. Big time. All right. Maybe. I could be wrong. I don't think so, though, dude. I don't think so. That's the story there. Thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like down below. And I'll see you in the next video. Eagles are going to win this game, man. Later.